Hello and welcome back to another Roblox Draw Space video. Since I wanted to switch it up and use some color in my speed paints this time around, I made a poll on which manga covers you want to see me do a study on, and you guys voted for a Jujutsu Kaisen manga cover. So today I decided on probably one of my favorite volume covers of Jujutsu Kaisen, which is volume 26 or 7. Wait, let me look this up, hold on. I don't want to get this wrong. Volume 27, there you go. So yeah, volume 27 with the most overpowered character in the verse, Takaba, posing on the front cover. They actually did like a cool live action promotional video when this physical volume was coming out, and you can probably just look that video up on YouTube, and I just thought that was really cool. They also did kind of the same thing for Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, that spin-off series, where Mappa just did like a crazy 30-second animation to promote, I think, volume 3 of that spin-off series. At the end of the speed paint, I will actually do a comparison to my speed paint here and the actual volume cover itself, just to see how well and accurate I got certain things. I think that'll be cool, so stick around to the end for that. And this is definitely a lot more of a chill and laid back speed paint, because I'm not tackling like a crazy double spread with insane like environmental details and multiple characters and like full body illustrations. It's just like a chill front cover. I mean, there's details here, but it's a study that is definitely a lot more laid back. Of course, there's still effort and consideration here. I'm pretty sure the only tedious or difficult part of this study, surprisingly, was not the character, but getting the text and that pattern in the background down, since it was a bunch of circles in like a repeating clean pattern. So that circle pattern in the background is not the most neat, but surprisingly, everything else was quite smooth sailing, to be honest. And you might have noticed that that microphone drawing in the background wasn't lined up before, but then it all of a sudden was. I did definitely get ahead of myself again with recording. I say like, oh, I'll just do a bit of detail before I hit record, like some corrections, but then I find myself doing entire sections without pressing record. So that microphone was just not captured on video, unfortunately. Actually, that was another mildly tedious thing, doing all those mini like straight lines on that microphone there. I would think that the crazy zoom in finger pointing would have been like a difficult thing to grasp and get my head around, but surprisingly not. So again, I think it was just the title text and the pattern in the background were the only like challenging-ish moments here. So I was actually moving from stage to stage in this study quite swiftly, and I guess that's also because of Draw Space and how the ease of use of Draw Space and its tools. I never felt like I was fighting with the software or the UI. I was just locked in and got the study done. So we're just finishing up the flat colors and moving on to the text. Okay, here we go with the text. So I think, yeah, I used the fountain pen tool here to replicate that mild wobbly texture to the line work. I really should have put more time into this and consideration, since it did kind of irritate me, especially with that white outlining. I think I moved on way too quickly on the title text. I definitely could have made the dark lines a lot more thick and thinned down the white lines, but I think I just moved on out of annoyance. So that's one mild thing I do regret. And I know there's like a mild red like gradient in the title text. I do come back to that, so don't worry about that. So we're finally rendering, and man, the rendering really like brings this all together. Of course, no surprise there. I will say I was a little worried with how I was going to capture that traditional coloring look for this, because taking a closer look, I'm pretty sure Gege Akutami did a traditional coloring of this drawing and scanned it in, because there's a lot of sections where it looks like he used maybe a Copic marker or something, where there's a lot of like tonal build-up. And I was worried about how am I going to like replicate that look, but then I realized there was an opacity tool. And I was actually kind of mind blown with how accurate it was. You'll especially see it on Takaba's skin side, like on the skin half of his costume. That sounds very weird to say. He has a weird costume, okay? So on the waist down on the skin half, I think I did a pretty decent job at replicating that marker pen shading style. And come to think of it, maybe I should have just leaned in all the way with the details on this volume cover, like adding the number 27 on the bottom right and adding like the Jump Comics text at the bottom right as well. I feel like I maybe should have gone all the way in with this volume cover study, but I guess that's for next time to consider. And this is just like a mild like random tangent. I don't know why it was so strange to me that there was this microphone that's just fully green. It was just weird to me. Maybe it was out of like artistic choice, or maybe there's just full-on green microphones like this. Like you think maybe like a silver or a grey with some black, but yeah, I don't know why. It's a strange color for a microphone. But hey, maybe they do just exist. These like full-on green microphones. I just found it kind of bizarre when I was looking at this cover. But then again, that's like the least bizarre thing on this volume cover. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the rendering process and I'll be back shortly. Alright, so I do get this detail down with the text with that mild red gradient. I almost forgot to do that, almost. And of course the highlights were super fun to do. Again, trying to get that traditional white pen marker look to it with that low opacity in certain sections. And yeah, that just really brings it all together now with all that shine and everything. And to really sell this idea that I kind of copy and pasted a JPEG into Draw Space, I begin to clean up and crop the final artwork. And there you have it, Takaba and volume 27 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's do a quick comparison here. So you can see I was almost spot on with some things, maybe some proportions or like colors were off, but I think we did quite well here. And I think I did a really good job at the rendering of the costume. It's like almost one-to-one. And maybe I should have just leaned in all the way and added like the volume 27 and the other miscellaneous text as well. Thank you guys again for watching. Remember to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you want, and I'll see you guys next time.